Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching WYTV. You're welcome to another edition of News Review. Today, Wednesday, and I love the fact that the weather is doing well today.
The weather is somehow cool a little bit.
Exactly, there's nothing like too much of sun.
Anything can change at any time, so don't praise the weather yet.
Okay. All right, my name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji, but you can call me Sidon J, and I'm in the studio with
Ambassador Rochimoriluana. You know, some of the prophetess, the man, the only man who resembles Wiki.
Now, you know what we do on this particular show. This is where we talk about the news headlines that made up the newspapers of today. And we go on a short commercial break, come back to do justice to some of the newspapers. Today, I'll be starting with Punch newspaper. But before then, let's go on a short commercial break. When we're back, we'll talk more on it.
For management of power.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. So today we're going to be starting with the Punch newspaper. Multiple taxation, Tinubu panel asks government to drop 190 taxes. OPS blames states. Labour warned federal government over deployed MOU threatens strike. Aggrieved customer attempts to set bank on fire in Ogun State. Israel-Hamas war affecting regional economies, IMF. Then on the Vanguard newspaper, Nigeria needs $10 billion annually to fund SDGs, federal government. Federal government extends stay of recalled envoy by 3 months. Israeli airstrikes kill 8 Syria troops. Illegal waste disposal, 26 persons convicted in Lagos. Then on the Sun newspaper, articles bid to expose FBI, CIA's records on Tinubu's fails. Wike issues fresh threat, vows to step on toes. Impeachment. Ondo deputy governor counters assembly. Reps summon CBN boss over reversal of ban on rice importation orders. Then on Daily Post newspaper, economic hardship, Tinubu government raises against time. Tax tribunal orders MTN to pay $72.5 million. Hoodlums invade hostels, raid 4 Ogun University students. Something will happen. Wike issues final warning to ground rent defaulters. These are the headlines, and today we are going to be starting with this particular one. Aggrieved customer attempt to set bank on fire.
On fire. Well, that happened in Ogun State.
Exactly.
I believe the issue of this defrauding customers normally happen all over Nigerians.
Exactly.
This is the right time the federal government and the CBN need to step into some certain things, because when a certain amount of money is being deducted from your account or being withdrawn from your account, at the end of the day, the bank official that are supposed to guide your money could come out and say they knew nothing about it. In fact, it is too barbaric and unacceptable. And if let me open up by saying, Sidon J, most of the bank officials are normally into the withdrawal of people's money, stealing by trick. Some of them are stealing by trick. Ask me why.
Why?
I could remember when the former governor of Ogun State, Governor Binga Daniel, was the governor of Ogun State then. There was 2 attempts of robbery in Ijebu-Ode. Okay. They robbed the bank for the first time. The second time, not quite long, they came back, they robbed the bank. Then His Excellency Benga Daniel was in Ogun State then. It was in Ijebu-Ode. Then when they had the news, he had to tell his security personnel that they are going into the bank. When they got into the bank, they had to order everybody, every staff of the bank, including the manager, the bank manager of that branch, everybody to drop their phone. Then they drop their phone. Can you imagine the governor himself was going through everybody's phone? When they began to check their phone, then they found a phone there. Then they now asked, who owns this phone? Then the guy was pointed. The guy came out. You are the one that brought armed robber into this bank. The guy couldn't deny the issue, so they had to call the police to arrest the guy. Fortunately for them, those robbers were apprehended.
Wow.
So most of the money being withdrawn from people's accounts were the knowledge of those staffs that are working inside the bank. They need to be checkmated.
Well, according to the body of the news, a man identified as Sodoruddin Rufai has been arrested for attempting to set fire to the Guarantee Trust Bank building situated in the Okelewo area of Abeokuta, Ogun State on Tuesday. The news gathered that the suspect claimed he decided to raise the bank after his several complaints that an unauthorized 500,000 naira was debited from his account fell on deaf ears. Our correspondent further learned that he was said to have been advised by the area commander, Metro Abeokuta, that he should allow the bank to follow its procedure in unraveling the circumstances behind the deduction when the report was being made. Now, I want to say something on this. You see, even the man himself, sometimes when you want to put money in your bank account, there is a way you can go with it, you know. That amount of money was not supposed to be put in a savings account.
It should be in the current. Are you saying in fixed deposit? Exactly. What if he needs the money to do some businesses? Are you saying fixed deposit? It is only those people that are filled up that can put money in fixed deposit. You know the procedure of fixed deposit, which means you are putting that money into fixed deposit. In the next 1 year, 2, 3 years, you have nothing to do with the money.
I have a reason for saying
okay, what's the reason?
Good. Now, I don't want to do adverts for any bank.
Bank here, yeah.
Not like I'm trying, but then you see all this transaction. If you want to do transaction or something, we have so many online banks that you can use to transact. But if you want to keep that kind of money in Nigeria, you know what our banks do. There is a bank in Nigeria, I don't want to mention names here. They deduct money, even if you don't have money in your account, you will be seeing minus.
You get money to transfer into that account, they will still deduct those money.
Exactly. I have a brother that is facing that challenge, and they have to stop using that bank. You see, the bank policy in Nigeria has been jeopardized. I don't know what our federal government is doing on this. It's really affecting.
That's what I say. You know, I do say it all the time whenever we are on news review like this. I said, the one day we just wake up that we see that we don't have Nigerian that is working, that the Nigerian is no longer working again. Nigeria might have disappeared because when the time will come that the people will rise and fight for their rights. If the federal government are not doing anything about it, the CBN are not doing anything about it. Do you know how many customers that might have lodged a complaint? At times, it pains me a lot when I see a lot of complaints like that. The way the staffs of the bank do respond to the customer at times.
Well, that's why you see some people going to the bank with full force, like, okay, today I'm going to show you. I've seen a man that had to, you know, strip himself
naked. You don't know how many videos out there, even to a woman that strips herself naked, all in the name of people withdrawing some certain amount of money in their account. Why the bank will keep on premising and say, okay, they are going to do something about it, give us 24 hours. At the end of the day, nothing will be done. Have you ever seen somebody who came out and said, after many complaints, many attempts of reporting the issue to the bank, after reporting the issue, at the end of the day, nothing was done. Even the manager of the bank said to him that they have nothing to do about it, that the money has gone.
Well, after receiving the news from the bank officials who attended to him, our correspondent learned that Rufai was said to have gone back to the bank with petrol and began to sprinkle it on the banking hall. While the camera was unfolding, some customers scampered for safety, while others, along the bank security staff members, wrestled Rufai to the ground before he could use the lighter in his hand. Well, I think this man is so desperate. You know, sometimes, you know, the economy, the hardship can make you...
The hardship in the country, do you know what Nigerians are going through now? For somebody to earn his money with all the stress and with all what we are going through in Nigeria now, at least to save in the bank, to save at the bank. At the end of the day, the money was just deducted and no explanation was made. Do you know how desperate Nigerian is? If you could recall 2 days ago, I think yesterday or on Monday, we heard about somebody, a full-grown man that was unable to put food on the table for his family, that hanged himself. Not to talk of somebody who put his money in a bank that couldn't get it. What could have happened?
Well, our Punch Metro also gathered that the bank's chief security, Godwin James, handed the suspect to the Ibarra Police Division. Meanwhile, during interrogation, the suspect was said to have claimed that he took the action to attract attention of the necessary authorities about what the bank did with his money. Speaking with our correspondent on Wednesday, the State Police Public Relations Officer Omolola Odutola said Rufai will be charged with attempted suicide and murder. This is where I'm coming to now. Now, is it supposed to be like this in Nigeria?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you see, I'm removing my glass for the old world to see me. At the end of the day, what will the police say? They will say they want to go by law. Do you know if this issue has been, according to what is there, it has been reported to the police. At the end of the day, nothing comes out from it. The police will fold up their hands, pretending as if they don't know about the issue. And some of the necessary action that needed to be taken is from the police. So if we can't confide in the Nigerian police that are supposed to protect the masses, who else are we going to confide on? So automatically, if care is not taken, you will see Nigerians taking law into their hand, because the person that is of that the set of people that are in charge of the law are not doing anything about it. Have you ever found a man or somebody who went to the police station to lodge a complaint? At the end of the day, they will still tell you to drop something for you to have written your.
Yeah, I had an experience like someone scam me. Let me say it's a scam, or let me just say I got into his hand by mistake. Then I went to the police station to report. Like, I know this person, and I just want you to. I don't want to take laws into my hand.
Into my hand.
Okay, now when I got to the police station, this person duped me, collected money from me. This is my own life story. And when I got there, the policeman said, okay, I should write my statement. After writing the statement, he said the person to treat my case is not on seat.
On seat.
That for him to get another police officer
to treat you,
I must drop something.
You must drop something.
I was now trying to tell the policeman, like, okay, I'm broke. It was because I was due. That's why I come to you. Now you want me to use money to find money.
Find money again.
He said my case will not be treated on time.
It won't be treated. It is not on time. It won't be treated at all, because you are not dropping money that is going to enhance them to start work on that case. So at the end of the day, if care is not taken, if the guy is being apprehended or arrested, before you get to know, the guy will be discharged from the police station while you'll be found guilty.
Well, let's move on to the next one. Here, the next headline. Reps summon CBN boss over reversal of ban on rice importation orders. House of Representatives has resolved to summon Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Yemi Cardozo over the lifting of ban on the importation of rice and 43 other items. Cardozo is expected to appear before the House Committee on Regulatory Banking, Finance and Customs to explain the rationale behind the policy reversal. This followed the adoption of a motion by Chairman House of Committee on Water Resources, Sada Soy, imploring the Parliament to invite the CBN Governor over the recent decision of the Apex Bank to lift foreign exchange restrictions on 43 items. Now, as at day before yesterday, let me say since Friday, the price of a bag of rice is now 50-something thousand naira.
Around 55,000 naira in the market.
And this is during the renewed
hope. Yes.
Now, this Cardozo, you know, when Emefiele was the CBN governor, he let's say he misused the opportunity by trying to put all the old Nigerians into problems during the first quarter of this year. Now, when our new president emerged, he had to suspend him from office, and they are still on his case because I don't know what is. I don't even know when they are going to be done.
They are still on his case.
Okay, now this new governor should have learned something from the era of
let me come in by saying the new CBN governor is acting on someone's instruction. Because somebody who is working under the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can't just take a decision of his own. That is what I want to tell the whole world that are watching now. If the CBN governor is not working, if it's not working under someone's instruction, what could have conspired the CBN governor to have reversed what has been said by the Senate House? So automatically, maybe he's acting on the instruction of the Renew Hope, which is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If truly the president have lifted the ban on for the 3 items whatsoever that they might have called, automatically he has no choice.
He has no right.
He has no right than to abide to the rules and regulation of the president. Because he was appointed there by the president, automatically he's acting. You could remember, you could recall, during the period of the ex-president Muhammadu Buhari, the Controller General of the Custom then, do you know what he did? He had to send his voice out. I don't know what happened between him and the Senate House then. He had to send his voice out. All those cars that were being used by the senators that came into Nigeria without proper document, he sent his voice to be seizing all those cars.
That they didn't do documentation.
That they didn't do the documentation of those cars. Then they had to summon the guy into the Senate House. The guy came without putting on uniform. The guy was on mufti. They told the guy that he should go back
and put on his
uniform. If you see the way our senators were acting then, I'm sorry to have used that language. A lot of people complain about their action, that they are acting like touts, that some of them are
like
not
hooligans.
Well, like hooligans. Now, if you could remember, the guy refused to appear on uniform. Why? Because somebody is carrying out an order.
Well, according to the body of the news, Soli, in his motion, informed the House that in June 2015, the CBN imposed a restriction on the importation of 43 items, including about 11 food items, so as to conserve foreign exchange reserves and promote local production. Nevertheless, the lawmaker stated that on October 12, 2023, the CBN announced the lifting of foreign exchange restrictions placed on the 43 items. Now, we saw the fact that dollar is rising, and so many people, Nigerians, they are complaining that things in the market are too cost. Like, it's costly every day. When you buy something at 10 naira today, before you get to the market tomorrow, it's now 25 naira.
Not even tomorrow. Before you get back to the market in the evening. Another
so
additional
now, I feel the Senate are right on this, because putting restriction on importing of foods like rice and all will make it to be parallel with the economy, because it is the exchange.
What pains me most was the renewed hope that President Tinubu was giving to the whole Nigeria. I have never seen anything like a renewed, not to talk of the hope, since he came on board. Now the president came out, he kept on promising, he kept on saying that the suffering will soon be over. You remember when he traveled abroad, telling the Nigerians in abroad that they should come back home, that Nigeria is far better
than any other country.
Is this the set of Nigeria you will expect those people to come back to? That is one. Then two, if the president was elected as the president of the Nigerian Republic of the president of Nigeria, immediately he got the power, he had to remove fuel subsidy. After removing fuel subsidy, you know there's going to be an hardship that is going to be placed upon the whole nation. He would have opened the border for the importation of rice, at least to have eased the tension of the old Nigerians.
Well, I feel maybe because of this forex crisis, talking about the exchange rate, that's why they had to put restriction on importing foodstuffs. You know, it is just it's not a day assignment for our president. He has been doing this assignment before he became the president. So we can't say he doesn't know what he's doing.
Not what he's going there to do. He knows the problem of Nigeria. He has been in politics now. He's over 30 to 40 years.
That's exactly
what he knows what Nigeria is going through. He knows what Nigeria needs. He knows how he's going to change the face of Nigeria. Though he's not a magician, I believe his visibility study might have been done before he might have come out to campaign.
Exactly. Well, he expressed concern that the decision of the CBN will greatly affect local production of items such as rice, cement, and palm oil, among others, as it will force local manufacturers to hold the short end of the stick, invariably leading to factory closure and ultimately eroding our capacity to build the country's local economy. All the 43 items are from 2 critical sectors which have been identified by all policy documents from NEET, SEED to Vision 2022 has been areas that are critical to economic diversification. Solly said it is even worrisome that some of the listed items enjoy 60 to 70% subsidy from their countries of origin, thus putting Nigerians' local product at a comparative disadvantage and without any protection, and will lead to job losses and social exclusion. Now, this is a very good point and a very good notion from Solly. You know, allowing importation of rice or any other stuffs to Nigeria will make our local productions, you know.
What are those things that we have been producing in Nigeria? Can you give me some of the examples of those things? Like
we have like rice, we have local rice.
If we have rice, what is the price of those rice in the market? You remember when President Muhammadu Buhari came on board was when the borders were shut. The borders were shut in the southern part of the country, while the border was open in the northern part of the country. They said the whole Nigeria, they said Nigerians have a rice plantation. At the end of the day, when those rice came out, the rice that came out, the local rice that came out were competing, the price were competing with the price of the foreign rice in the market.
Thank you, sir. Now let us look at it like this way. You know, as a country, if you are doing business in Nigeria, you need to understand something, that people don't tend to buy cheap things in Nigeria. No matter how poor a poor man could be, he will surely tell you that thing that is cheap is not original. Even why they know that it is original. See, the reason why the amount is like that is because if I want to sell a phone, or let's say I want to sell a bag of rice, a local rice, 20,000 naira, and there is a foreign rice that is being sold 30,000 naira.
Is that why the price had to be competitive in the market?
If you are not being, if you are not
okay, you are not talking to my own direction. What could conspire the president to open to close border in the southern part of the country, while the border was open in another part of the country?
Well, you know,
are you saying
I'm not talking about the past
are we on one Nigeria? We are one Nigeria.
Exactly.
We are not one Nigeria, because the law that is being used in the southern part of the country is different from, in the northern part of the country is different from the southern part of the country.
And that was what someone said today, that, you know, in the north, that's why they call themselves northerners. You know, people tend to see them as Hausas. No, they are not Hausas. The Hausas in the north are not even many. Most of them are Fulanis and some other part, you know, even Kaduna, Port Harcourt, they are not Hausas.
So that is why they believe they are greater than the rest of the...
Because they are much more than us.
Okay, now, let's go into this now. When you say the president should ban the importation of rice, do you know the hardship that Nigeria is going? Even the local refinery, the local one that has been produced here in Nigeria, does it really go strong? Would you recall, there are some news that we treated here last week, that some of the farmers at the northern part of the country go to the extent of sleeping into their market to protect their crops by being thieved by night, at the night.
Yeah, you see, now importing goods in Nigeria every time we affect our economy.
Okay, we affect
exchange rate. We are exchanging with dollars.
Such jeep that the senators, the Federal Republic of Nigeria is giving to the senators, is it not imported? Don't we have innocent vehicle in Nigeria that they can patronize instead of importing them? So if they could leave restriction on importation of cars,
food, okay.
Why can't they lift it on the importation of foods?
That's exactly where I want my points now. Like, the House should sit and talk about how they are going to block everything that was being imported to Nigeria.
If you want to live, you live by example. You must act on what you are saying. Do as I say is different from just take my words, or don't act on my behavior.
Well, the benefit of the cheaper imports stayed by the CBN will give undue advantage to middlemen to drive the economy, which is inimical to our economic growth and not suitable to the current unified forest market in the country, he said. Furthermore, he expressed worry that Nigeria will not be competitive in the African continental free trade area if our markets are flooded with imported finished goods.
If our markets are flooded, you see,
it's already flooding. That's what I'm saying. If you see, let me say this: we have companies that produces clothes in Nigeria.
Listen, do you know how many companies here in Nigeria that is flooding up daily on a daily basis? Most of them.
The reason why they are folding up is because of this.
It's not because of the importation. No. It's because of the price of diesel, the cost of the diesel that they were using to run their factory.
Where are we getting diesel from?
Then the exchange rate. Now, if we want to have a working Nigeria, number one, subsidy was removed. We have Dangote. Thank God for Dangote. We have Dangote who has just built a refinery. Could you recall that Dangote came out to tell the whole Nigerians that crude oil was not given to him? Dangote had to go to the extent of buying crude oil that we have right here in Nigeria, buying it outside there. Do you think we are going to have a working country with the way these people are running the organization of the country?
But that is the reason why we keep saying it every day that we need change in Nigeria. I'm not talking about just change. We need complete change in Nigeria. All right, let's quickly move on to the next headline, which is going to be the last for today. We are going to be treating Hoodlums invade hostels, rape 4 Ogun University students. This is sad. But then, 4 female students of Taishola University of Education, TASUD, Ijagun, Ogun State, have been raped by Hoodlums, the state government confirmed. The Hoodlums reportedly invaded the hostels of the students in the early hours of Tuesday and forcefully had unlawful carnal knowledge of the female students. The hostel, Daily Post learnt, is located at Abakpawa, an area of the university campus. The Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Mrs. Noimot Salako Oyedele, said she had visited the 4 victims where they were receiving treatment at the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital in Shagamu. Now, let us talk about this. You see, when there is a school, let's say in a school environment, that the security agencies there...
You say, well, why do you know what I want to chip in? Let me comment by saying, if I pray it won't happen. If I was a father of one of the daughters there, I would have sold the school. The school would have been shut down by now. You know the reason why? Okay. I say early hour of the morning, not in the night. What was the security personnel doing? What are the school campus? What are the administrators of those schools doing to protect the lives of those students that are there?
Okay, sir, let me come in on this. I happen to be one of the alumnus of TASUD. That's where I finished from, and I know every areas in TASUD. Now, this could not be the school's problem. Number one, this street is off campus. So you staying on campus, you staying on in the school hostel is different from you staying off campus. So the problem here is the community security. It doesn't have to do with it. Although the school had and they need to, because they have to work with the community.
With the community, exactly. That the life, you see, the time we begin to think about the safety of lives and property is the time that the Nigerian needs to progress, because somebody can be under your care, either day or boarding. At least the welfare of the student must be your priority.
Well, not only the school, but there is a body that has to fight for the student, which is the Student Union Government, SUG. They have to come out on this too, because if the SUG is really working, they need to make sure the communities around the school are well secured. That is the work of the SUG president and other, personalities in the school SUG. Well, furthermore, Salako Oyedele had rushed to the university alongside the State Commissioner of Police, Alamutu Abiodun, and the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Abayomi Arigbabu. Thank God. Abayomi Arigbabu was once a VC in Taishola University of Education. He was the former VC before this new VC in TASUD. So I think now the problem there now is they need to get more securities around TASUD. Well, in a post on a verified Facebook page, the Deputy Governor described the incident as distressing and brutal. She said, after receiving the distressing news about armed robbery at some TASUD hostels and the brutal rape of 4 female students, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun CON directed me to immediately visit the victims and the campus on a fact-finding mission and to pledge the government's support in ensuring this doesn't happen again. I visited the girls who are now being cared for and given the necessary support to heal from this trauma at the Sexual Assault Referral Center, SARC, at Osult. She added that she had a crucial meeting with the management and students of TASUD in company of Alamutu and Arigbabu to discuss concrete steps to bolster security measures and foster a safe environment on campus and the adjacent host community.
During daylight, a student were raped and nobody in the community
could
apprehend them. Automatically, something might have went wrong.
You see, in that community, there is problem since like, let me say, 4 months back now. They've been having cultism clashes, you know, stealing, robbery, different kind of
why
things
then
going
they
on.
report to the higher authority?
They have to go on strike.
I think they have the ballets there.
Yes.
They have there are some people there who are monitoring the affairs of that community.
Exactly.
Are you getting to what I'm saying? If there is an insecurity in the land, at least you should be able to report to the proper channel that is going to look into it. You see, the day we have our Nigerian police working well is the day we have a moving country. You understand what I'm saying? In a situation in which you go to the police station to lodge a complaint, at the end of the day, they will still demand money from you. Most of the cases that a lot of people takes into their hand, they believe when they get to the police station, at the end of the day, they will attend to it.
Well, the Nigerian police are really getting things worse in Nigeria, so we don't have a choice. Sometimes people put laws into their hands because they believe when they go to the police station, it will not be attended to well. Well, according to the deputy governor of Ogun State and CP Alamutu, they said they promised to arrest the perpetrators of the crime. Now, this is where we're going to be ending it for today for today's news review. And don't forget that the sponsor for this show is Nokpa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji, but you can call me Sidon J. And thank you so much, Ambassador Rilua, for joining me on this particular show.
Thanks for
having me. We'll see you again tomorrow. Be good and be hardworking. Bye.